All right, guys, welcome to the Linus Tech Tips live stream. Today we had some bad luck and we ended up, wow, we're 20 minutes late. You know what? I think this is actually the latest we've been. If you don't factor in, no, you can't do it in there. You have to do it in the other tab. If you don't factor in the times where we've started on time, but then we've been just destroyed by technical difficulties and we've had to come back. So it's that top one. You have to edit it and copy paste in all the stuff. Otherwise it won't work. Yeah, sometimes it's finicky. It's like YouTube, right?
That's so stupid.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of YouTube, we're going to be talking about YouTube's paid subscriptions a little bit later on in the live stream and what all of this means, what we think of it as content creators who predominantly work through YouTube. But we're going to start with summer drivers. Come on! I mean, it's one thing when it's like that first major like rainstorm and the roads are slick and people are like, oh, I forget how to drive in the rain. And it's like, you know what, I understand when it's the first major snowfall of the year and some people don't have their snow tires on yet. You get caught by surprise. But people who get in accidents in the summer, what are you doing?
And like the first one we ran into today,
Oh.
it was a minor, like there you could see
Like,
some scratches,
okay,
that's it.
The bolts holding on the license plate in the front left an indent in the rear bumper of the car that
That's
was
it.
hit.
That's
like, that was the damage. This chick was stopped in the left
of them.
lane of a 2-lane highway, okay?
With huge shoulders.
Huge shoulders on both sides. She's just stopped right there. It's like, does your car work? Do your legs work? Get off the road. Move. I mean, we're not talking people who are in major accidents and, you know, you need to have like investigation of what happened and all that other stuff that goes on. We're not talking about that. We're talking about, are you in a minor fender bender where like you're fine? Get out of the way. Anyway, so that delayed us by what, like 40 minutes this morning?
Half an hour, 40 minutes, right around there.
So NG, our intern's like waiting for us at NCIX for about 40 minutes this morning because we had no idea because we don't know how Google Maps works with traffic apparently. I didn't think to check it. And then on the way back today, I mean, this one was legitimately a pretty legitimate accident,
Yeah.
but we probably lost, what, a good half hour, 40 minutes on the way back?
At least.
So, I mean, it's one of those things where for all of you commuters out there who actually commute Monday to Friday every week, I mean, this is probably sort of, I sound like I'm complaining pretty hard for how bad my situation is. I commute once a week, but today was an ugly commute. Beautiful weather. I wish I'd been on the bike because then, I could have, are you trying to change that? I can't just change it back to the old one and change it. I can't figure out how to change it this way.
Oh, it is on old.
Oh, it is on the old one? Oh, it's probably not logged in. I don't think there's anything we can do about it right now. But yeah, I only commute once a week, so for all my... Right, I wish I was on the bike today because the weather was gorgeous and I could have just kind of gone around things relatively easily as well. Not that you should do that. Although it's funny because it's a very North American thing for, you know, bikes on the shoulder, bikes in between lanes, like all that stuff. Stop it, pause it. It's a very...
It's muted.
Okay. Just kill it. Our internet bandwidth is like stupid.
I
anyway.
know.
So it's a very North American thing for that to be like, ooh, like over in Europe, bikes are all over the place. You see people like on their scooters going down the sidewalk. You see them like, you know, parked on the sidewalk. Basically, there's no room to walk. I think it's just one of those things where we have the luxury of all this space here. So we like create rules that don't work unless you just have like tons of space. Like, I don't know,
But we have tons of space.
we do have tons of space.
I don't necessarily want people parking their bikes on the sidewalk.
Why? They park their bicycle on the
If
sidewalk.
you take up the entire... Your bike is a lot bigger than your bicycle.
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah. Takes up a lot more space than a
Whatever.
bicycle.
Another thing, too, is I've noticed in Europe, it doesn't matter which way the traffic was supposed to be moving on the street. Cars are just parked pointing, like, which direction. Like, you'll be cruising along this way, and then you'll just, like, go over to the other side to park. Perfectly normal over there. Here, you get a ticket for sure.
Yeah.
Car facing the wrong way?
Even if you're parked the wrong way outside your house.
That I didn't know about.
Yep. We had a car parked the wrong direction outside of our house because he just like pulled out of the driveway and just went the wrong direction. Because he just had to move his car out of the way because it was my brother. I think. Pretty sure it was my brother. And we were working on stuff in the front of the house, so we're all home, and his car's going the wrong way. Take it.
Ticket. Wow. And in front of your
In
house?
front of our house.
In the boondocks?
Pretty much in the boonies. But
so
if you think
someone
about
must
it,
have like called a cop.
but there's a
to
cop
come
station right there.
Oh, so they were just on their way somewhere. And...
Probably going somewhere.
Bad luck.
Because they don't usually hang around our area. Nothing ever happens in our area.
Right.
So they're usually going somewhere.
Oh, that's a shame.
But
Anyway.
yeah, they're pretty not so happy about that. I don't remember if it was my brother or who it was, but someone outside my house, when we were all there, got a ticket.
Yeah, that's... Whoa, I'm throwing my keyboard around. Don't worry about it.
That was aggressive.
Wow, it managed to type VGY in front of our news items. VGYY. So that's
It's like you're almost trying to play Tribes.
Yeah.
Who gets that reference? No one. Oh.
All right, so thanks to all 1,200 of you who tuned in spite of the fact that we're late, and we are very sorry about that. I'm done making excuses for the first 6 minutes of the live stream, so let's move on to our first news item of the week, which is, check this out. So our link is WCCF something, whatever. I don't know what this website's called. They should really work on that. And apparently, apparently
If
Google
you press enter right
Drive.
after it, press enter right after it.
Wait, what?
Click the end, press enter. Bam.
There we go. Copy paste. You have to install the Google Drive app for whatever friggin' reason. So apparently there's a retailer in China who is selling Haswell chips. So you can see here's a big old pile of Intel's new and improved box art. Honestly, I don't know about this box art.
I don't like it.
It's like,
When I first remember when I asked you if this was the legitimate release.
yeah.
The reason why I asked that was because I was like, that box art looks too cheesy for Intel.
Like the top looks like Intel.
Yeah,
You know, with
definitely.
like the futuristic looking microprocessor looking IC looking thing here.
It's these two bits, which they can't see, but you can move your mouse away.
Yeah,
That's a little bit, but that still seems like their style, at least.
At least it looks kind of sciencey.
Sciencey and robotic-y and all
And
that
there's
kind
like
of
a picture of
that I was kind of
someone.
confused about. And what is this?
Then there's like, I don't know, this. I like the idea is it's like, oh, what you can create with Intel technology, and it's about like creation and creativity and that kind of good stuff. And back to the news thing. So Taobao has listed Haswell chips so you can see the full specs of what's available. So the only real difference, this is interesting, so the 4770 and 4770K have the same maximum turbo frequency this time around. Also, apparently all these chips are using HD 4600 graphics, which is which is good, because last time around a lot of the lower end chips were using the lower end onboard graphics, which to me is completely backwards, because low-end customers are going to be using onboard graphics, not guys who are buying like 4770Ks. With that said, the integrated graphics can benefit performance customers if you're using features like QuickSync, which will allow you to transcode your video using the onboard GPU. So anyway, you can see all the specs for the chips there. You can also see pricing converted, and then there's some boards that are available as well. So there's a couple BioStar boards, an MSI board, as well as an Asus Sabertooth Z87 board that is apparently available now if you're viewing this from China, which I suspect you're not. At least you won't be watching a YouTube archive from China. I discovered that there's apparently a lot of videos of me in China.
Yeah, we talked about this quite a while ago, didn't
Did we talk about it on the live stream? I don't
Nope,
think so.
Nope.
So China's big video sharing site, I don't remember what it's called, but YouTube's blocked over there, so it's not YouTube. But there's videos. There's like a video of me unboxing like an Asus ITX board that has like 26,000 views. I'm like, what? Really?
What's going on? Who are you?
Who are all these people watching my videos that I didn't even know about at all, which is kind of crazy.
It's pretty cool.
I mean, piracy is cool, I guess, but
like,
at least my content's like good enough to pirate.
Yeah.
Sort
And
of.
if they're not going to be able to see it anyways,
Yeah,
who
then
cares?
it is what it is.
Like, if someone was doing it here and getting 26,000 views, I'd be like, okay, that's kind of annoying.
Now, it's pretty normal for Intel CPUs to be leaked and available ahead of launch, but we're like 3 weeks plus away from launch. This is sort of early, even for like Intel chips to be, and normally you see them available in like Taiwan or something.
Yeah.
You know, where all those manufacturers are anyway. So, you know, like a couple master cartons of motherboards fall off a truck somewhere.
Or someone lost their job because they leaked it, and like, like bad things usually happen.
Yeah. Whereas this is just, it seems like, nope, it's just there. Apparently Tiny Tom Logan has his Z87 boards. We haven't got ours yet, but he's got some Gigabyte ones. We're hoping for some from Asus pretty shortly. We've had chips for weeks, but no motherboards for them yet. So anyway, Haswell is very much upon us by the look of things. So let's, we're going to move through a few of our news items this week pretty quickly, I think, because we've got a lot of topics to cover, but then we're going to do some Twitter Q&A a little bit afterwards. So our next news item, we're actually, okay. Logan from Tech Syndicate is not the first one to have reported on the Illumiroom prototype, but we thought we'd just give him a shout out because he's a great guy. We hung out a little bit at Asus's event, and this is some cool technology. This video's been out for a little while now, but check this out. If you search for Illumiroom, there you go. That's how to spell it. Illumiroom on YouTube. It is a very cool demo of the Xbox, for the lack of knowing what it's actually going to be called, Xbox 720, next-gen Xbox, with a TV. Okay, so the TV's here, and then a projector setup that aims around the TV, so sort of filling the room. So it's meant to be an augmented gaming experience. So what do you think is the coolest thing it does? And then I'll say the coolest thing, and then we'll go from there.
I like the explosion thing. Because, okay, spreading the screen past your TV, unless you have, like in the demo,
you should tell them that it spreads the screen past the TV.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I was focusing on what I'm doing here. I didn't actually listen to you the whole time. Sorry. I guess that's rude. I actually have stuff I had to get done. Anyways, it can spread stuff across the screen, or it can allow like just certain things to go out. So like say explosions or flares of any kind, or big streaks. Say if you're driving really quickly, you could have like brake lights going past.
Yep. I mean, it can highlight items. Yep. And stuff that you can pick up.
So if there's like, if you kill some dude and there's a pickup item and it glows and you walk past, that glow could be on the other side of the screen.
Like
so
outside of the screen.
Yeah.
Like sitting on your bookshelf.
Yeah, because the projector is projecting this. So what I like the most is the explosions and the item thing.
Okay.
Because I most likely am going to have like shelving units or whatever on the side of my TV. So it's going to be inconsistent. And I know from seeing the demo that it's actually very good at covering that up and making it still look good, but I would still not really like having the entire environment, like the whole thing, spread out past my TV.
Yeah, for me, it's a very noticeable break.
Yeah, exactly.
When you have a TV, which is like a crisp,
super high quality,
bright image,
and then still good, but not as high quality.
Not nearly as good washed, and like on objects and stuff like that. With that said, the Illumiroom uses a Kinect type of sensor to compensate for objects because it knows that they're there.
So it still looks really good, but not as good as obviously a TV.
Yeah, you can only compensate so much.
Exactly.
I mean, projector technology isn't magic. I mean, it's not like Steve Jobs came back, invented the projector, and delivered it all to us on like a cushion that's made of
Stop.
Okay.
No. Anyways, my favorite one is explosions and like glowy things because it'll be cool to see it just go.
The context.
Yeah.
Without the distraction, I guess.
Exactly. And then it would still be cool if I miss an item. It's like, oh, okay.
So my thing would be things like weather effects and debris. That's what I thought was the neatest thing about it. So you could be, one of the demos they showed, and the demo is real. It's not composited or anything like that. So one of the demos they showed was like a racing game where you could have like snow. Or you could have weather effects that are in the room that go beyond just looking through that window that you could sort of, in your mind's eye, you could pretend is the cockpit. Not only that, but if you have like things like grenades, or if you had something like a piece of your car goes flying, the projector could let it bounce off a bookshelf and land on the floor with the same game physics that are being used by the game itself. Now, with all, someone says, stop, Linus. You are, probably the Steve Jobs bit, right? So with all of that said, what are the odds you'd set this up? Assuming it was free, someone handed you an Xbox 720, a TV, and a projector, is this what you would do with them?
To be honest, yeah.
Yeah?
I would like the explosion thing, and I would like the item thing.
Okay.
Stuff like the snow.
Where would you put it? It would take up so much space.
It's
I mean,
a projector. Like
short throw projector will help.
Yeah, and you don't have to always have it there as well.
But I mean, it's yet another thing to turn on. I mean, if you got like a universal
could also
remote
go
app
on,
for a phone or something.
In the thing, don't they have it on a table?
I think this is going to be really niche. Is sort of my point.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like super niche. I mean, you look at how cheap projectors are now. You can get a good quality 1080p projector for less than $1,000.
It's still cool though because
No one buys them.
your one friend or your one friend's dad who cares enough is gonna have it set up, and when you go to their house, it's gonna be awesome, whether or not you set it up. I think it would be cool to set up. I would at least try.
Okay. I mean, I've thought things were gimmicky that ended up being a thing before. I thought the DS was ridiculous.
Really? I did.
I
DS
thought,
is awesome.
I was like, no, I mean, when I heard about it. When I got one, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, I got it. I was like, okay, I do use the other screen for some stuff. With that said, I didn't look at it much.
Yeah.
But I liked that it was there.
I thought it would be good just because of Pokemon. The only thing I play on mobile devices anyways is Pokemon. Like, that's the only reason why I've ever bought Game Boys is because of Pokemon. I'll end up playing, like, a few other games, but it's pretty much Pokemon and Tetris. So...
Anyway,
yeah,
we'll see.
We'll
see. I don't see myself setting this up. Even if someone handed me the projector, I'd probably just like go have like a projector room and like a TV room, and they would just be different.
If I somehow could, like, if I had either a roof mount or if I had a table that was properly lined up, I think I would set it up.
Even then, though, it's the okay. So there's the wire mess. There's the sort of pain in the butt with all the inputs and all that mess.
I don't mind cable managing things.
Yeah.
See, you really, 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 really hate putting holes in your wall.
Oh, I do.
But I would very properly and nicely cable manage it along the roof.
Yeah. Okay, well, why don't we move on to our next topic? So, guys, if you're not already subscribed to Tech Syndicate, raise the world with a 0 instead of an O. I gave him heck about the name of his YouTube channel when I met up with him. I was like, dude, what's up with that? How are people supposed to find your YouTube channel? Okay, so raise, R-A-Z-E, not R-A-I-S-E. Raise the world, 0, not O. Go subscribe to Logan if you aren't already, and tell him his YouTube channel name is dumb. All right.
He does well enough.
Yeah, I know he does okay, but it's not because people remember the name of his channel, I don't think.
I remember. Maybe that's part of it. It stands out so much. It's ridiculous, so you're like, whoa.
Yeah, but it's hard to tell someone about it.
True.
Speaking of things that are going to be hard to communicate, this is the Claris Companion. A tablet designed for seniors. So senior citizens, I don't know if you guys have any senior citizens in your family. I sure do. And I remember my grandpa signed up for one of those TELUS promotions where you got, if you signed up for a fixed contract of, I think it was 3 years, you got a free Dell computer.
Wow.
So that you could leverage the internet that you just paid them in advance, sort of, like you booked in advance with them, okay? So this was back when a computer anyone cared about. So this was the promo before they did the free notebook, which was before they did the free Wii. So this was a long time ago, like back when Wii was a thing.
Right.
Nintendo, oh, in trouble. Anyway, I digress. So the free computer thing, I remember sitting there trying to show him how to use a mouse. He'd get to like the edge of the table and be like, what do I do now? Like, no, like I kid you not, that's what it's like. Do you remember the guy who works at NCIX who did a lot of the IT admin? He used to teach a class back in the 80s on using the computer. And the mouse was very simple. Like everyone was like that back then, apparently. Like he put together the most ridiculous possible curriculum. He taught it at UBC.
Wow.
Yeah, and people came in and paid good money to take this course on like not having the mouse like fall off the desk as you got to the edge. Like, kid you not. Anyway, so my grandpa was like that. I can't even imagine after that experience trying to put a tablet in front of him. So the Claris Companion attempts, and I'm not going to say they've achieved it because I haven't had my hands on one, but attempts to make it friendly for seniors. So it uses a bamboo wooden design that's designed, get this guys, to look kind of like an old school CRT TV set with like a wooden frame.
And
okay?
like the speakers at the front and
Yeah,
stuff.
and the speakers at the front. See the speakers at the bottom on the front right there. Amplified speakers with huge, ginormous fonts optimized for senior citizens. It doesn't even say what OS it runs. Like, I actually don't know what OS it is.
It's probably an insanely modified version of Android.
Like,
unrecognizable.
Super cut down, unrecognizable. There's like 5 buttons on the front, and they're things like pill schedule, like call daughter, like Like, that's pretty much all it does. It's expected to have a cellular data connection, and they have a subscription service that, depending on how much you pay for the Claris Companion up front, the subscription is cheaper the more you pay for it up front. There's even a lifetime option, which is $1,000. And I did the math, and apparently the company is expecting the old people to live for like another year or two, based on the lifetime subscription. And I was like, oh,
my goodness.
that's kind of a sad thought, because you'd never offer a lifetime subscription for a cellular service to someone in their 20s for $1,000. I should buy one. Just to see how long they honor my lifetime subscription. Guys, if you want me to do a Kickstarter to spend $1,000 on a Claris Companion to get a lifetime subscription, we're not doing that.
That would be horrible.
We're like actually not doing that.
You would never ever use it, and you probably can't transfer your cellular service. So like, here's this crap tablet that you can use for the rest of your life.
Yeah, so it has easy grip sides, and I think we're pretty much done talking about it. Built-in charger for connector for eliminating fussy cables, amplified speakers, and huge fonts. And so anyway, yeah, I thought that was sort of interesting. They actually reached out to me. That's where I got this news item from. They were like, do you want to talk about this tablet? I'm like, yeah, sure, I guess.
Also want to clarify, I didn't mean crap as in like it's a bad tablet. I meant crap
we
as
don't
in
know, like the OS being
we
locked
don't know
down.
the OS being locked down in 40 years. It's not going to be the fastest thing. That's what I meant by crap tablet.
But it'll be made of wood,
Bamboo.
and it will therefore be still working probably.
Maybe wood won't exist anymore.
Yeah, that's true. It could be a collector's item. I bet it is a collector's item by that point. The first bamboo tablet. And we're not talking Wacom bamboo tablet. We're talking a bamboo tablet here, folks. Now, let me tell you, this is the best gosh darn bamboo tablet that I ever done seen. You should go ahead and for only $1,000, you get a lifetime subscription. It's like, I totally picture this on QVC, right? Let me tell you, old folks, this
They
right
should.
here let you keep in touch with your gosh darn dare grandkids. Like,
They should advertise on QVC, seriously.
I think they would actually sell a fair number, because it's not a bad idea.
No, it's not at all.
It's just, I'm not the target market. So,
No, I'm not either. But
So
it is not a bad idea.
so I poke fun at it a little bit.
My grandpa's not the target audience either. He tries to be tech savvy, but I know quite a few older people that would just don't want to have anything to do with it. If they can just press a few buttons, they're good and done.
You know what, it's funny, because my mom thinks she's tech savvy, but if I handed her that, she probably couldn't figure it out.
Oh, my mom can figure that out.
Yeah, my mom doesn't watch the live stream though, so your mom watches, which is I know why you're saying she'd be able to.
No,
figure it
she
out.
could figure that out.
Slick's mom watches the live stream. For those
She
of you
does.
who don't know, which is I think absolutely awesome. Okay, why don't we do a little bit of Twitter Q&A?
She's getting. Oh, I wish I had a picture of it. My mom's getting a Super Boss mechanical keyboard. So.
Well, that's okay. We'll unbox it for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Just tuned in. Is that your new office? No, we're moving to the new place in about 3 weeks.
We were filming a video and kind of took over the other area.
Yeah, we were filming the build guide for the Intel sponsored build guide that we have upcoming. So the entire garage has been torn apart. Our height adjustable table is where our normal table is. This table is in our fastest possible set, and our microphone is here.
So yeah,
My
like you
chair
just
is
said,
here.
this is actually this white wall back here is the set for fastest possible on Tech Quickie.
Yeah, so there you go. Are you, yep. OAP are not ready for tablets. At least they can hit what they see, though. My grandparents just got broadband. She is not ready for this. Fair enough, James. Hello to South Africa. I tried out a few mechanical keyboards at Micro Center. Blues are my favorite switches. Top blue switch keyboards. Honestly, any blue switch keyboard is hard to go wrong.
Pretty much. If they're making a blue switch keyboard, they probably have pretty good build qualities at this point in time.
Fair bit of chat in the forum. There was a what's your favorite switch thread. A lot of people are validating Corsair's stance that reds are for gaming.
Yeah.
Saying that they get hand fatigue, finger fatigue from gaming on blues or browns. Anything with tactile feedback.
Weird.
I've never gamed for that long. So
I have. I want greens, which are heavier.
okay, well,
My hands aren't going to get fatigued. It's just not going to happen. From pressing a key switch down, no. Maybe that's a thing. It's just not a thing with me.
I can't really comment on future products, guys. I muted the Big Bang Theory to watch you. That's good, because Big Bang Theory has a laugh track, and maybe we should add one.
I tried to get off screen for that, but
Yeah,
I don't think it worked.
You did good.
Thanks.
Well, we should add a laugh track to our
Just,
live stream.
just whenever things are not funny.
Yeah, we'll be like, EA! And there'll be like that one chick in the laugh track that's like,
We
that,
should
like,
record
cackles.
our own terrible laugh track. We should
No
get a whole bunch of people we know and
way.
record our own.
You know, it's funny because like half the time we're having conversations off camera about how to make the live stream like more professional and like more like an actual show. And then when we actually like get down to it, what we're thinking of doing,
Recording our own laugh track.
it's all like the worst possible ideas you could possibly have for a show. Like we could make a show called All the Things That Shows Shouldn't Be, and then
Yeah, it'd be all our ideas.
pretty much be this one.
Yeah. You're late. Your time changes all the time. Your set changes all the time. Topics are not usually ready.
Hey, we have topics like pretty darn ready today.
We did good this week.
We did good
quite
this week. Well, it helps that I was preparing them in the car for like an hour and a half as we drove back from
Yep.
NCIX. So,
Yep.
Building a new Intel PC soon. Is unreleased product A better than unreleased product B? Or, dude, come on. What am I supposed to say?
We don't know yet.
My friend wants to get a new graphics card to play the latest games at 1920 by 1080, for example, Battlefield 3. What GPU? Budget is $460. First of all, what kind of a budget is $460?
That's oddly specific for how high it is.
Yeah, it's like, it's one thing if people are like, yeah, I have $75 to spend. You kind of go, okay. 460? Could he spare another 23 cents? Anyway, at that price point, buy yourself a 7850 or... Yeah, honestly, like, isn't 70 or 7850? Sorry, 7950.
I was kind of confused when you said that.
Is 7950 just the card to buy?
It's crushing.
Every-
I don't like.
Every game test we do, 7950 just wins. And you know what's funny? Because the comments on the latest one, oh, you guys are always testing AMD Gaming Evolved titles. Not testing any NVIDIA titles. It's like AMD's giving away like 8 games with the 7990.
We get games when they're given away with cards.
A lot of the time, yes. And NVIDIA's giving away 1 game right now.
We will test Metro Last Light.
And we will test Last Light.
Definitely. That will
We
happen.
will. But it's like, we can't do anything about the fact that every hot title right now is a Gaming Evolved title. And it's funny because the same thing happened not that long ago when every title was a way it's meant to be played title. Oh, Linus, you don't test any Gaming Evolved titles? Yeah, try releasing one.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
We will test Metro Last Light.
I'm all worked up today.
You are, yeah.
I'm stressed out.
But in that bracket, they have 660 Ti, and our 660 Ti was the original Beast Power Edition one.
Yes.
So you would think that card
Should
would
be able to run with it, but it can't.
be like golden sample of that category. But it's
The 7950 just, and like 7970 doesn't really perform that much better, especially when you overclock them both, which you should.
that jump right there is an interesting.
So
one.
speaking of your friend wanting to play Battlefield 3,
He can't. Very likely he can't.
yeah, right now, maybe if he wants to enjoy the single-player campaign, which, is single-player even working?
You have to go through Battlelog to launch campaign.
Okay, so tell them what's going on, because they don't know.
I haven't read this entire article, but from what I
not
have
in there.
heard, it's not in here.
Yeah, just
Awesome.
talk about it.
I'm just going to go off the top of my head then. What I think is happening, because I read a little bit, is that I don't know if it's just EA as a whole, or it's like Battlelog Origins section, or if it's just Battlefield 3 section. I don't know how this is exactly working
Shiz
out.
be going down.
But a lot of people, I don't know if it's everyone, I'm pretty sure it's just a lot of people, can't actually connect to Battlefield 3.
So
Connection to EA servers, blah, 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 error 1.
So EA's response is that it sounds like there's been some kind of a targeted attack on their servers that's been holding them down for, what, about a week now?
A really long time.
People are not happy.
No.
And so what my theory is that all the guys who were attacking our forum are attacking EA now. It's my theory.
Yeah, because that actually is better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about a week. It's about a week since we've had like serious downtime. Speaking of the forum, guys, if you are not members of the LinusTechTips.com forum, go sign up right now.
Right.
'Cause it's,
Everyone go right now.
yeah, everyone go right now and sign up, and we're gonna see how she handles it.
Even
because-
if you are already signed up, go and just like hang out.
Yeah.
Let's have a bro session on the forums.
bro session on the forum.
Everyone go hang out, go to general, post about what's going on.
Yeah.
talk about the live stream.
Let's just see what happens, because we're kind of curious. We have made some serious upgrades to the infrastructure that's going on. So to put this in context, since January, we have gone from hosting the forum on a weak sauce computer at my house,
like under my desk.
yeah, to hosting on a beast computer with 6 cores of CPU and 48 gigs of RAM at NCIX, to outgrowing that, to hosting it at a data center, to outgrowing that, to changing our software and everything just generally getting better, and still hosting it at a data center with like a bajillion CPU cores and all the good things that are going on. So things are seriously going well for the forum. So many people are joining. It's honestly, like, would you say anecdotally, in terms of typing a question and expecting to get an answer in a timely manner, it's the best forum you've ever been on?
Probably for me, because I've had problems in the past where if I have a difficult enough question, I don't even bother ask. Because I'm like, by the time I get a proper answer to this, I probably will have figured it out.
Yep. Or if you have a super simple question that you're afraid to ask,
you get flamed and blown
hardcore
up
flamed,
and everything's bad.
just destroyed, and I don't see any of that on this forum.
Not flaming. We've had a few random threads where I've seen the answer not be almost immediate. A few.
Right, yeah, a few.
Not that many, but a few.
But guys, if you have a tech question, I have a lot of people still sending me like private messages on YouTube or Facebook messages. Guys, I can't. I get hundreds of messages a day.
It's too much for me, and I'm a very small fraction of how much he gets.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I love you guys and I want to answer every question, and I read them all because it gives me ideas for making videos. But it's one of those things where either I can be Ask Jeeves, like asklinus.com, you type in an answer and I just sit chained to a computer desk and reply to all the questions. Or I can be Linus Tech Tips, the guy who actually makes videos. And you can watch videos about the things that are good to do with the tech industry. So yeah, those are pretty much the two options. Here, so let's have a look. Hasn't slowed down at all. We have 1,065 users on right now, 513 members, 544 guests. Y'all got nothing. So anyway, you tried. You tried. So guys, do hang out on the forum. We're thinking of issuing a challenge. We should do a video about it.
It's coming soon.
Coming soon?
Coming
Okay.
soon.
Okay, but soon there'll be, so if you guys are early to this, then you'll be that much awesomer. But we're going to be issuing the Make Linus Tech Tips Forum your homepage challenge.
We have a few interesting changes that we want to do to it that'll make it easier to have it as your homepage.
Yeah.
Which.
And so the places that are most active, guys, general discussion, news is super active. Honestly, I've started getting most of my news from Linus Tech Tips Forum.
Which is pretty cool.
It's kind of awesome. Great community contributions and news, guys. So like if you're there, you're actually, you're maybe not up to the minute, but you're kind of up to the hour, and you don't have to deal with the terrible site design on reddit.com. Wow, I'm on a roll here. Taking shots at EA, taking shots at, I bet Reddit just like destroys me now.
Yeah. I don't think Reddit's site design is terrible.
What?
It's efficient.
The community there is awesome.
Yep.
The site design, not as awesome.
Efficient.
Okay, why don't we agree that the community is awesome and the site design is at least this far away from the community's awesomeness level?
It's very efficient. The reason why Dig fell behind was because Dig changed too many things and it was no longer efficient. It was messy.
I agree that it's hard to change something about a hyper-popular site like
What would
Reddit.
you change about Reddit? It's so efficient. The whole thing is about the front page. And it's very, very, very efficient. Everything is laid out very nicely and cleanly.
Okay, but what about finding stuff that isn't on the front page?
The search function actually works really well. And if you go to a subforum, again, very clean.
Okay,
Things
okay.
deteriorate
As a
and will
new
fade
user
away.
on Reddit, though, I couldn't figure out what any of the subreddits were. There's like a bajillion subreddits that have seemingly zero documentation. That's not good site design.
Look on the right.
Yeah, there's some stuff there, but there's how many aren't there?
Well, that's not site design. That's the person who created the subreddit putting in less information.
Okay, well, why don't we just agree to disagree on this one?
All right. I don't think the site design is actually that bad. It's not interesting. It's not that pretty, but it's very efficient, and it's very good at doing what it tries to do, which is be efficient.
Speaking of Reddit, found a fantastic post on Reddit about the US banning the blueprints for a 3D printable gun.
Yeah. Good luck. If someone wants that to be online, that will be online. Like, I don't know.
You dumb bro?
I don't know. That's what he's trying to do. I was like, I have no idea what this person is doing. Anyways, yeah. If someone wants that to be online, that'll be online. It'll be somewhere.
Okay, the entire Reddit thread is just like people being like, I didn't even hear about this. I downloaded it because I can. Because they told me not to. I'm like, you know what? That's how the internet works. I mean, remember the Anarchist Cookbook?
Yeah. That's everywhere.
It's like one of those things where it's like, how hard was it to get a copy of it?
You ban it and you make it more popular.
Yes.
The only reason why people, okay, not necessarily the only reason why people heard about this especially.
Yes.
But the only reason why people hear about certain things is because they get banned.
I did not hear about the Anarchist Cookbook until they banned it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. I wonder if I can find the, oh, there it is.
Right there, and there, and there, and there, and there.
And on everyone's USB thumb drive at school at the time, because it was one of those things where it's like, I didn't go to school with anyone who was going to blow anything up.
No.
It was just idle curiosity because they banned it.
Why was this banned? I want to know. What's in here that's that bad?
Yeah. It's like, and we're not promoting anarchy, and I'm not actually even saying necessarily that I think 3D printed guns are the greatest thing ever, because I don't.
All we're saying is
banning things won't work on the internet.
Durr.
It's like what was B-roll saying on the way back? That Beyonce's PR was trying to get all like
the unflattering images of her off the internet,
like removed from the internet. It's like, okay, Beyonce's not that attractive. Like so many stars, it's all about getting the right angle with the right makeup and the right lighting. It actually doesn't have a whole lot to do.
And the right 4 days worth of Photoshop.
And yes, exactly. There's a whole lot of that going on. Don't kid yourself. And there's, it's like you can't remove like pictures from the internet. So it's going as far as like pictures of her while she's singing and on stage and doesn't look good and trying to get them removed. Like,
not gonna work, dude.
Yeah, someone needs to explain the internet to Beyonce as well. If Beyonce, if you're watching, that's not how the internet works.
By the way, you have a lot of money. We can sit here and explain how the internet works.
Yeah, a consultancy.
Yeah,
right.
We'll take all that money, try and buy EA, and turn it into a successful company.
Okay, so to start with, the internet is a series of tubes. You know, that reference just never gets old.
I know.
I love it. Guys, if you haven't seen it, it's some US senator or something.
The subtitle for our networking forum is a series of tubes.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's almost as good as the troubleshooting forum. I had someone specifically send me a tweet saying how much they loved the subtitle of our troubleshooting forum. It's help. I need somebody. Help. Do we have not just anybody?
Not just anybody.
Not just anybody, yeah, okay.
I added that so it was more easily recognizable.
There we go. Okay, so moving on to our first community news item, because pretty much all of the news items are community news items this week. Check this shiz out. So AMD has gone full 360 here, and I actually meant 360. You know how half the time people say 360, they actually mean 180?
Yeah.
How many times?
Yeah.
I've done it.
Yeah.
It's like, I turned around 360 degrees on that issue.
Oh, so you have the same stance.
So, yeah, no, not actually that. They've done a 360 here. So initially, their next generation products were going to be 8000 series. They were going to be released in 2013. Then they came out and said, no new GPUs in 2013. Then they went and released 7790.
It's like, what?
Which is a 7000 series by name, but not much more than that. It's a different architecture. It has been tweaked somewhat. So then there was that, and then there's the 7990, which isn't a new GPU technically,
Nope.
but is a new card. So they released that, which we
did
still
they
don't
say
have
no
one
new
yet.
GPUs?
I believe they did say no new GPUs.
Okay.
So 7990 doesn't technically
Nope.
break it.
Nope.
But then check this out. So there's a couple references. This was submitted by Thibaud. I don't know how he wants us to pronounce that, or she. Not sure. So there's a couple of references here, but basically the 8000 series for desktops might be skipped entirely, and that's not the first time this kind of thing has happened. NVIDIA didn't do a GTX 300 series.
Yeah.
Huh?
That was so confusing.
That was weird. You know, they change naming schemes all the time. AMD went from X800 to X1800, if I recall correctly, which was like, okay, I guess. So they skipped like 10 generations there. So apparently they're thinking of skipping 8000 series for desktop. There's already 8000 series for notebooks, but they are purely rebrands. Okay, and apparently the all-new 9000 series might be released in December 2013. It'll be manufactured at 20 nanometer, according to the rumors. This is all allegedly. And so there should be less power consumption and heat output, more performance per watt, and it'll be paired with a new architecture. So what this could mean, allegedly, is that we're getting not only a die shrink, but also an architecture change at the same time. Big risk. Potentially big reward. They've certainly had a long time to work on it.
Yeah.
In fact, internally, they may have already finished an 8000 series design, which might have been a die shrunk 7000 series, and then just decided not to bother because maybe it didn't perform that much better with the die shrink. If you saw what happened with Intel and their latest die shrink, where they're not actually getting a whole lot more clock speed out of the chips, they're saving on power consumption, but they're not necessarily getting a ton more performance. We saw this with Sandy Bridge to Ivy Bridge. Could have been that. They just went, okay, let's just not do this. Let's wait. And you look, it's been almost 2 full graphics card release cycles. Maybe we'll just do 9000 series. So maybe that's what's happening. This is all allegedly, supposedly, according to rumor. I know nothing for sure about this. If I did, I would not be talking about it.
Just to interject really quickly, about that Battlefield 3 being offline thing that I was talking about earlier, for anyone who wants more information about that, because I was not conclusive, I just tweeted out the URL link that I had for it, so check that out.
AMD's chief technology architect, Jim Keller, apparently said, blah, 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 Sea Islands encompasses the PS4 chip as well as the new mobile chips and Bon Air GPU found in the 7790. I bring this up because it shows people inside AMD continue to work hard, long hours to deliver great products, etc., etc., amongst the turmoil shown in the press. So the next generation is coming this year and shaping up nicely, is what he says. When you name products after places, it leads to interesting thoughts about where to hold the events surrounding the namesake product. It would be really cool if they did an event on a volcanic island. It'd be a real shame if all their engineers died in a volcano. So AMD, if anyone's watching, maybe just do it somewhere else.
That would be pretty beast, though. You gotta take some risk. Take some risk.
Yeah, don't worry about it. So anyway, that's really cool news. I mean, AMD, did you see their stock? Actually, I haven't looked at it since then. Maybe it's gone down a bit.
But still, boom.
Is it still exploding?
No, I'm saying, but still, it went boom.
Went up a lot. They seem to be firing on at least one cylinder now, which is more than they were before.
It was, not even that long ago, while we had this live stream running, it was pretty scary.
Looking pretty dire.
There's a few live streams where we almost hinted to like, oh god.
They've got all the game devs on board now with the graphics cards. They've got releases like coming when it looked like they weren't going to release anything. Yeah, very, very exciting stuff. So I'm really stoked to check out 9000 series. Hopefully we get one prior to launch so we can bring you guys some launch content. So that didn't happen with 7990 or 7790.
Still waiting for
it's okay. AMD's trying. Actually, there are guys over there that are trying to get us the allocation so we can show you guys this cool stuff right when it comes out. Let's move on to our next one, which is not a crack at EA. And boom. I'm going to need... Oh, okay. No bad language on the... As a huge lover of the Assassin's Creed series. Okay, well, so this was posted without probably too much helpful information by Ixie Your Face on the forum. For that matter, oh crap, I don't think I called out our. Oh yeah, no, I did. But there you go. Assassin's Creed creator and designer fired allegedly by Ubisoft. So there's a bit more to the story than that. And Patrice has said that they fired him. Ubisoft has said they parted ways due to a difference in creative direction or some corporate speak, something along those lines. So he designed and created the Assassin's Creed franchise, which is the favorite gaming franchise of at least one of the people in this room.
It ties. For Elder Scrolls.
With Elder Scrolls. Okay. So there's that. However... So his statement has been they fired him unjustly. He's only been back for 2 months because he left back in 2010 to go to THQ. And then he's been back for a couple months. We're not sure what he was working on. Forbes' article sort of speculated that maybe he had a disagreement with the yearly release cycle proposed for Assassin's Creed. I think we've talked about that on the live stream before.
We talked. I don't know if it was for Assassin's Creed.
Okay. Anyway, yearly release cycles is like, oh no, yeah, we didn't talk about it for Assassin's Creed. I mean, that's insane. It's like, could you be any more public about, we're just going to milk this?
I don't mind if they come quickly and they're good, but fixing release cycles is I hate that. Fixing dates, like release it when it's done.
Bring it on. Like throw more people at the problem, make it fast, make it awesome.
Yeah. But if there's a problem, like don't do a fixed date. Please don't do a fixed date.
Unbelievable.
Fix the game and then release it.
So there's some speculation maybe he didn't like that. There's some speculation that he was actually working on completely different things internally and it has nothing to do with that. But one way or another, he came out and made a statement that went, shoot, I forget his wording and I don't have that on there, but something along the lines of, I'll defend myself, my team, and my game, and there will be some kind of action, but no one really knows what it is up till now. So there you go. Very, very interesting. So that's out of Ubisoft Montreal. So my Canadian bros have got some sort of stuff to figure out over there. Why don't we do a little bit of Twitter Q&A?
Sure.
Sorry, guys. I know Twitter Q&A is just sort of random, but it is what it is. So there you go. And random is what it is.
Hey, Ryan.
Hi, Ryan. They also fired the producer of Assassin's Creed. Okay.
So it wasn't just one person. That's interesting.
Plateauing a bit from the increases. Thank you, James. I am doing a 32 Crucial M4 RAID 1 array. No, that's a terrible idea. With 3 or 4 RAID cards, 48 SSDs maybe in the future. You do not need a RAID 1 array with SSDs. Let me tell you that much.
Crazy.
If you're using 4 high-performance RAID cards, which I'm assuming you are, you will actually probably do just as well with something like even a RAID 6, because you'll be able to do massive random performance with an array like that. I mean, honestly, you don't even probably need that many SSDs. Like, to max out the performance, you could probably even go 4 SSDs per card, or something along those lines.
I'm really interested what his use case is for this.
Yeah, what the heck is this even for?
Like, what are you doing?
And if you need RAID 1 grade reliability, why are you using consumer SSDs?
Yeah.
That's something you should be asking yourself.
Especially when he's buying 48 SSDs?
I heard
Maybe in the future. Okay, 32 now.
I heard a rumor that there's an enterprise grade SSD coming that's going to be very reasonably priced from Not Crucial. Can't say who it is, but should be coming soon.
Cool.
Maybe kind of like an enthusiast sort of diamond in the rough SKU.
Cool.
I'm going to sleep now, 2 a.m. in the Netherlands. Good night, Bart!
Good night, Bart.
What games are you guys looking forward to? Why do we buy all this hardware? What game are you looking forward to, besides Blood Dragon, which you haven't played yet?
No, but it's out, so I can't really look.
You can look forward to it.
I guess I can. I played it a little bit. It's freaking awesome.
Except that it's set in the past.
So I'm looking forward to 2007.
It's Back to the Future all over again.
Well, Elder Scrolls Online, but I'm hesitantly looking forward to that because of some of the problems that we had. I'm gonna try and not talk about this as much as I possibly can.
Sorry, go ahead.
Black Flag. So we've gone through my 2 favorite series, which we already talked about. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. It's gonna be like pirate version of Assassin's Creed. They're all pirates.
They're all pirates. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant
not like
pirated.
No.
You hear about the piracy game of piracy? Or like it was the game about being a game dev?
It was the game dev, and if you pirated it, they pirated your game in the game, so you could never be a successful game developer if you pirated the game. Yeah. That was brilliant.
Yeah, and so there was all these people complaining on the forums about this. It was an indie game, and he released all the stats, so he had a non-personally identifiable like tracker in the game that reported back, phoned home and let him know if it was a pirated copy or a real copy. And it was some massive percentage of the games that were being played were pirated. And then what happened is it was like game dev tycoon kind of thing, like game dev sim. And so people would reach a point where their company would get to this size and then they'd never be profitable because everyone would pirate their game. So they were posting on the forums, I can't figure out how to get past this part. It's
like, this is ridiculous. Everyone just pirates my game. I can't be successful.
Yeah, and then the irony was like...
that guy's having trouble making ends meet because he can't be successful because everyone pirates his game.
Because you pirated his game. Anyway.
Jerk.
So pirate version of Assassin's Creed.
You think that's frustrating in the game? That's frustrating in real life.
Yeah. Let me tell you, as someone trying to run their own business these days, like the amount of stress that you go through without people stealing your work is a lot.
Another thing that I'm really looking forward to is a
Are we really still talking about this?
sequel of Hotline Miami.
Oh, okay.
You haven't played that either.
No.
It's amazing.
Do you know anything about the Razer Ouroboros disappearing? No?
No.
Okay. Plan on playing games? 670 Power Edition, or should I get the 7950? You know what? Either of them's a great choice. 7950 has had the edge lately in our testing, particularly once overclocked. YOLO Swag 4G of H Jesus is the new official live. No, it isn't. First time watching live. Yay! Hi, Ivan. Tuning in tonight. My boyfriend watches you guys. Hi, Elizabeth and boyfriend.
That was the Ryan call out.
You should EA. It's a great investment. not just something to do with.
Is EA a verb now?
I don't know. I'm just gonna EA that. It could mean anything.
Release it ahead of schedule. There won't be any support. You won't be able to actually access it.
Right, I'm gonna run it into the ground. I'm gonna EA it.
If I'm not done something, I can just submit a corrupted file and be like, "Oh, it's just EA'd. Don't
I
worry
EA'd
about
it. Don't worry about it.
Where can I suspect this?" And I'll be like, I'm not commenting.
So if anyone from EA is watching, guys, we do need sponsors for the show. Come on down. Why don't we move on to our next topic? This is very interesting. So this is another forum submitted topic. So check this out, guys. Yeah, right. I said this. So remember when power supplies. So this is from List Fiskern.
Yeah.
It's from Norway. So dude, you're cool. We love you. We love Norway, but
awesome.
we don't get your name. So List Fisker from Norway says Haswell compatibility with Corsair power supplies has been released, which leads us to an interesting topic. So most power supplies are ready to go with Haswell. Some are still to be confirmed and might need some tweaks to function. Silverstone has come out and said all of theirs are working. Seasonic, I believe, has a compatibility list as well, and there's a good reason for this. Now, back when I was getting into computers, a 350 Smart Blue that came with the Antec Landboy was a pretty good power supply. And if you really wanted, you could get yourself a True Blue, and that might be a 430 or even a 480 watt.
Fancy.
But then all of a sudden, after that, it was this arms race. And before that, it was like, you know, anywhere from 150 to sort of 250 watt. Like there was this progression. And then after that, it became arms race to bigger wattages. OCZ changed the game with the Power Stream 520 watt. There was also a Power Stream 600 watt, but it had two 12-volt rails, which meant that with SLI configurations, sometimes it didn't work. So the 520 watt was the really well-regarded one. After that, Ultra had the 1300 watt power supply. It was like an external thing, or maybe that wasn't Ultra. I remember there was one external
I remember
one.
that, though, yeah.
Like you actually needed two plugs in it, and for it to even output the maximum power, you had to have it hooked up to two circuits in your house if you were in North America.
I remember seeing build logs with it and just be like, what even is that?
What are you doing? And then case manufacturers released cases that accepted two power supplies. So Silverstone's TJ07, my case, it's like I used the extra space for radiators, but you could put 2,000 watt Silverstone Striders in there. You could have 2,000 watts of power anyway. So it got kind of ridiculous for a bit with wattage. Then the efficiency race came. 80 plus bronze, 80 plus silver, gold, platinum, plutonium. I don't want a plutonium
I
power
thought it was
supply.
titanium.
Yeah, it's titanium. I don't know. Who
okay.
cares? So the point is, efficiency became a big thing, but now what it might be all about, and the way 80 plus works, is that it's actually, there is no rating for how efficient the power supply has to be below 20% load. And what's funny is any 1,000 watt power supply isn't going to touch 20% load, might not even break 10% load with a modern system running a Haswell CPU and a next generation graphics card, because they're getting so good at turning down the power at idle. So when you're browsing the web, your computer probably doesn't suck 100 watts from the wall. So all of a sudden, Haswell, particularly with its sleep states, is going to be much more sensitive to how the power supply performs at extremely low loads than it's going to be to how it performs at high loads, which is what 80 plus has been all about. So I don't know how this is going to work, because right now, manufacturers are basically just putting like a Haswell ready certification on it. It was kind of like the old P4 ready, where it had that connector and it had the beefier 12-volt rail, because those CPUs were drawing so much power and it was game changing. Now they're drawing so little power. You're going to need a high quality power supply, but not the same way you did before, where it's like massive wattage, massive efficiency at high loads. You're going to want massive efficiency and great performance with low ripple and low noise at very low power consumption.
I wonder if this means we're going to see a lot of like maybe smaller in wattage and size because of the smaller cases,
Maybe
and smaller
more
motherboards. More passive, more smaller in size, more smaller in wattage, but very feature-rich power supplies.
Things like what Corsair is implementing with their AXI series, where you've got, you know, voltage monitoring and temperature monitoring, and more like bringing more value to the power supply as opposed to figuring out how to stuff more watts in it, so to speak.
Yeah.
I know that's not actually how power works. You don't stuff more watts in something. Is B-roll over there? Is he like working?
No.
Oh, he's probably on his own workstation.
That would make way more sense.
That makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Why did he even set up diesels?
I think he had to get some stuff off the computer.
Makes sense. See, this is why I pay people to think for me. I'm clearly not capable of it. Anyway, so there. That's a really interesting thing about Haswell. So even though you have an awesome power supply, it may not work with Haswell. So watch out, check with your manufacturer, make sure it works. Most of the good manufacturers should have most of their power supplies working. So let's take a moment and do a little bit of Twitter paying attentionness. Plutonium 1.21 gigawatts. That would be awesome.
Oh my goodness.
Urban Dictionary.
That's probably hilarious.
We're not
can't click on
We're
it.
not clicking on this,
But that's probably
yeah.
hilarious.
I actually don't drink coffee. Can you imagine what I'd be like if I drank coffee?
Oh, that would be scary actually.
I consume no stimulants, no energy drinks,
He'd probably
no coffee.
crawl on the roof.
Like, I don't need it.
No, he doesn't.
I didn't even get that much sleep last night. I'm like, first time watching from Norway. What are your thoughts on Windows Blue? We've actually talked about Windows Blue a little bit, some of the features that are coming. There was a preview that The Verge broke the news about. I'm going to take a sort of wait and see approach. You know what? Normally I'd be upset about this, Sean, because that's a cheap shot. That is a really cheap shot. But after the lockout, I don't care.
And 10% of people know what we're talking about.
Oh, hockey. Hockey. So the San Jose Sharks beat the Vancouver Canucks in 4 hockey games consecutively, meaning the Vancouver Canucks can no longer win the Stanley Cup, which is the coveted prize. It's a jockstrap. Different kind of cup. Sorry, my bad. Anyway, normally I'd care, but I just didn't. Yeah, I just didn't care. Oh, apparently I really need to read List Fiskern's last post on that Haswell compatibility topic. So we're going to go ahead and move down to where he has posted some additional stuff. Apparently Johnny Guru came onto OC3D and told him off for messing up his name. Oh no. Oh wow, did you really spell Johnny Guru like that? Okay, just so you guys know, Johnny Guru is the website to go to for power supply reviews. You can come look at our unboxing and we're going to show you some, you know, what the cable sleeving quality looks like and what connectors are on it, how long they are in Linus arm lengths. If you want to know anything about a power supply, actually, johnnyguru.com. They do the best power supply reviews, bar none. Everything else is basically worthless compared to what they do. You can quote me on that.
We don't do, that's part of the reason why we don't do
Why
crazy,
bother? Like, why bother?
We'll just put it in a system, it'll look cool, and we'll talk about how it looks, and then...
And we'll talk about what we read on Johnny Guru, because, guys, if you want to know anything about a power supply, if Johnny Guru recommended it, and it got even like 7 out of 10 or better, it's probably safe. It's fine. Buy it, be confident. If it got 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 on Johnny Guru,
that's beast.
1, be prepared to pony up.
Yeah.
Because I tell you, that is a well-built power supply. And number 2, be confident, because it's awesome. Okay, so anyway, sort of back to Twitter. I would catch a live stream several times, but either I've overslept or had problems with my laptop. I'm trying to scroll down. I'm having trouble. Twitter needs to just calm down. Have you heard about that one keyboard model disappearing? Linus, no. Yes, well, yeah, exactly. Loving the stream. I think he thought the Ouroboros was a keyboard. Loving the stream tonight, guys. First time tuning in live. Hi, the guy, Luke, whatever your name is. Watching live stream from Kuwait. Speaking of Kuwait, it was, crap, it was Syria, right?
Syria has no internet.
Yeah, no internet.
Let me check
I
that
think
up.
it's back now. But Syria just disappeared from the internet, like, which was just bizarre. So
Yeah, it was Syria.
yeah, Middle Eastern country, internet went down. Basically, they just like turned it off, and everyone was kind of sitting here going like, "What? Holy crap!" Can you imagine? So I'm not going to get into the political ramifications of all of that because honestly, I am not that well versed in it.
And we're not those people.
Yeah. However, what I would like you guys to reflect on is in the last 20 years, basically, how pervasive the internet has become in your life. Isn't it mind-boggling? What if the internet was turned off in your country? Like, my job would just be impossible. I couldn't do my job.
I feel like mail people DVDs.
Right? It's like we'd have to be oh crap, what was that Star something? What was that DVD service? The mail rental DVD thing. Oh crap.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I have to look it up. It was like something like Club or DVD mail rental service. Or like you had to buy them or something. Oh, I forget what it was called. No. Okay, hopefully someone can tell me on Twitter. Maybe it was something club. I don't know. It was an old thing. It was kind of on the same level as like AOL CDs. Where it was like there were always pamphlets for this stupid thing. And I was like, anyway, that's what Tech Tips will become. We'll mail you the latest unboxings on like a monthly basis.
No big deal.
No big deal. But yeah, what would it even, yeah. Oh, no
I don't know.
way.
I don't know if this is true.
I don't know if
feeling
this
it's
is
not.
true, but apparently if you go bankrupt in Game Device Tycoon, EA buys you.
I kind of have a feeling.
I have a feeling that's not true, but it would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Bro, do you even EA? Watching live for the second time, it's 4 a.m. Thank you for bearing with us on this
Night owl.
on this here live stream.
I like to see it.
It's pretty tough. RAM for budget gaming? Buy whatever.
Skip.
What about the Steam donation? What about a Steam donation for Linus Tech Tips where you can test with more recent games? Honestly, what recent games do we not test with?
We test
with pretty much everything.
The only things I can think of.
I mean, we did BioShock Infinite, we did Tomb Raider, we did
We jumped over.
Far Cry 3, Crysis 3.
We jumped over.
We're gonna do Metro Last Light.
Star Trek.
Star Trek, eh?
I know a few people asked for that, but it's not like a huge. Like, okay, it's pretty big, but it's not. It's not on the level of like BioShock and
I have a segue.
stuff like that. Sure.
So speaking of Star Trek, they tried to do an MMO at one point,
Yeah.
which is sort of like WoW, because every MMO is sort of like WoW.
Oh God.
And WoW lost 1.3 million subscribers in Q1 2013. Wrap your brain around that. WoW lost more subscribers in Q1 than most MMOs will ever get. So,
But
okay.
they still have a beast amount.
Okay, yes, they still have 8 million. It's down from the peak of 12 million, and I've seen some posts on the forum. Actually, this was a forum post, so I want to make sure that I give credit where credit's due.
Just to interject again quickly, I have to do this while it's up. We basically just crashed Johnny Guru. Oh no, it works.
Oh, did we really?
Yeah.
Oops.
It doesn't fully work. Some things aren't loading. Oh, there we go.
Great site when it works.
It takes about 4 or 5 minutes. But,
Fantastic
yeah.
site. Go there some other time. Sorry, Johnny,
Sorry.
but you're awesome, man. And Oklahoma Wolf, the guy who was doing most of the reviews when I was reading a lot more on there, is awesome too. Great writing style, very funny. Anyway, so I can't find the thread. I'm sorry to whoever posted this thread on the forum. You're awesome, and I heart you and all that good
Hopefully
stuff.
someone will find it.
Yeah, hopefully someone will find it and tweet it at, hashtag Linus you forgot or something like that.
Hashtag?
I don't know, man.
Can they just tweet it at you?
They could, but I don't know if everyone will see it. Anyway,
Tweet it at me and I'll retweet it.
calm
No
down.
hashtags.
There's a thread on the forum where people were saying that it's kind of in between new content right now. So it might not be indicative of sort of, anything that crazy. But think about it this way. Over the course of a month, them having 1.3 million fewer subscribers, based on if everyone was paying $15 a month, would be almost $20 million of revenue. That's basically profit. When you consider that they have to invest in the infrastructure, they have to invest in the content.
There's a lot of dev, there's a lot of support,
Yes.
there's a lot of
For their 8 million existing subscribers, they already have to do all that crap anyway. So that 20 million was the profit, if you think about it that way, or it was basically profit because they had to do all that other stuff anyway. That is huge on the bottom line of Activision. I mean, they're basically saying, don't worry about it. We're still number one. You know, it's okay. It's cool. But here are a few things that I wanted to discuss. If WoW were to stumble, would something just as quickly pop up to take its place as a paid game? Would something be able to take its place? Would people even be willing to pay for an MMO anymore?
I wish.
Would they be?
I would, personally, I don't like pay to play. I'm very, very against pay to play.
Yep.
Because almost every single pay to play system, no matter how you look at it, has at least a little bit of pay to win. It might not be that much. It may
Okay, so
not
you're talking
overall...
about microtransactions versus subscription based.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
You
right.
probably should have said
I
that
should have
because
definitely
WoW is sort of
clarified.
pay to play
It's
as well.
definitely, of course,
Okay.
it's definitely pay to play.
So
Sorry.
microtransactions worse than
Subscription based.
Subscription-based.
Personally, I don't mind subscription based. Everyone's on equal playing field, no matter what.
okay, that's true.
Always, like, doesn't matter.
'Kay.
And everything you get in the game is earned, the same way that everyone else would earn it.
Yes. Okay.
With microtransactions, no matter to what scale, unless it is only cosmetic, and
Right.
even with only
Like
cosmetic,
something like League of Legends is largely cosmetic, except
but you can still unlock champions.
Unlock
Within
champions.
certain game modes, like the new ARAM game mode that they came up with, can make things better for you because if there are clearly better setups of teams in ARAM, and you
Right.
don't get to pick your champion, it's all random, all mid. So you get
Got it.
random a champion. So if you're just the free week champions, you're at a disadvantage compared to people that have specifically really good champions on ARAM.
right. Okay.
And people will come at me and be like, "That's not the main game mode. All that kind of stuff doesn't matter." A ton of people play it.
Right.
It still
And
is
it's
a part of the
competitive
game.
and all that
And
kind of
it's still
stuff.
competitive, even though it's
Yeah.
not competitive on a tournament level. It's still
Right.
competitive when you're just playing with your buddies.
Okay.
Blah blah blah.
So paying to enhance the enjoyment experience. Okay, so riddle me this then. After WoW basically sort of perfected it, so to speak, is there really any innovation left in MMO? Because you've got EVE as sort of your hardcore MMO. You've got World of Warcraft as sort of your accessible MMO. You've got all these skeletons.
So many.
Age of Conan. Look how long Star Wars: The Old Republic was subscription based. What was it, like a few months? I mean, is not so much is there any innovation left, because I think there's innovation left, and I think part of the problem with MMOs is that they're not innovating. I think Star Citizen might be a way for
Pretty stoked for Star
yeah,
Citizen.
might be a way for Chris Roberts to really show that there's still room for a massively multiplayer experience to innovate and be different. But is it because they're all WoW clones, and are studios going to be willing to invest what it would take to design a new king from the ground up to replace WoW if it faltered?
Before I comment on that,
Yeah.
I want to interject. This is a completely different conversation, so I don't really want to go into it. But I hate the term WoW clone. But that's a completely different topic.
Okay, well-
Anyways, I don't really think so. I think studios will drop a bunch of money, ESO's dropping a whole bunch of money, but I don't, at the same time, people are complaining about the potential graphics problems, so they might not have dropped the amount of money that they should have. We won't know until we get open beta,
Yeah,
realistically.
have to have a look at that.
But like everything else, to be able to...
And if it's Elder Scrolls, you think it'll be moddable at all?
Uh,
Sub out
I
textures?
know-
Probably not.
Textures, I don't
Yeah.
know. But I know there will be add-ons available.
Okay. So anyway, sorry,
for that
carry
community.
on.
Anyways, don't want to get too much into that. I don't think it'll happen. Not on the scale that WoW was, because if you look at the timeline for MMO releases, WoW was perfect.
Right.
Ultima and EQ were old.
Right.
There was nothing else really, really big on the table.
Okay.
WoW dropped. Everyone that was tired of Ultima and EQ because it was really old moved to WoW, and then they just crushed it. It was a big enough pool of people that when new things came out at the beginning, it didn't matter because all your friends played WoW and you wanted to play with your friends. So everyone went and played WoW. They exploded. They were massive, and now it's taking forever for them to die because it's still, depending on your playstyle, a good game. There's still a lot of people that play it. I don't like it anymore.
There's still 8
I
million
liked-
people that play it.
There's a ton of people that play it.
So
I liked classic WoW way more, but
okay.
I don't think it'll happen because to create that again, there's so many MMOs that are coming out all the time.
Right.
You can't hit that time
So
slot
we might end
perfectly.
up with a more fragmented type of market.
I don't think it's going to be the massive one-game experience that it basically was when WoW first came out.
Right. So then it might be more like a cyclical thing. Because you look at something like, okay, let's look at anything. Let's look at the development of the graphics processing unit. When it started, there was one.
Yeah.
Then there was a couple. Then everyone and their dog got in.
And then there was...
Then it reconsolidated. So maybe so at the beginning there was really only a couple.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there was the one dominant one for a long time. Then maybe it's time for the end of that. I mean, but
well, it's the end of the one dominant one.
Yes.
Then it spread out like crazy.
Yeah.
So you could actually couple in the very few that were at the beginning and the one dominant one probably into the same bracket.
right into the same sort of period
Because
of time.
not many,
Yeah,
and then success, tons,
yeah.
and then too many, so it narrows back down.
And so it'll
That's
narrow
actually
back
a
down.
really... That might actually happen.
Because
That's
so many
interesting.
things are like that. I mean, it's been done time and time and time and time and time again.
By the way, that was actually Kilmer that posted the WoW thing.
Oh, okay.
Kilmer was
Thanks, Kilmer.
was a mod on our forum, and he has stepped down because he just doesn't have time, that's cool.
That's cool. We totally get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Blizzard is busy with a new MMO called Titan. Should be a ground-up game. If there's anyone who can do it again, it'll be Blizzard.
Yeah.
But there's also going to be so much more scrutiny on it.
Oh my goodness.
With that said, Blizzard has shown they're committed to fixing stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Diablo 3 is apparently a much better experience than it was at
I've heard that
launch.
as well. I haven't actually stepped back and played it, but I've definitely heard that from not a small grouping of people. And like Titan, like you just said, scrutiny, that thing will be combed with like a brick. People talk about
Combed with a brick?
People talk about
What does that mean?
Like everything will be looked at.
Combed with a brick.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Fine-tooth comb.
that's a quotable moment.
This is beyond
Somebody
fine-tooth
mean
comb.
this, please. Him trying to explain combed with a brick to me.
Okay,
That's the
there's-
stupidest
there's
thing you've ever
fine-tooth
said.
Comb. There's fine-tooth comb.
Yeah,
This
and
is
then there's-
way beyond that. So
There's
it's just a brick.
Brick-toothed comb?
Yeah.
You're fired.
Nope.
No, you're fired
Nope.
for that.
Nope.
Just gotta say, Linus, from now on you gotta be careful when you tell 500,000 people about a website. Well, he's a little bit exaggerating. I think we're at around 3,500. By the way, thank you so much, guys. We are overwhelmed that there are so many people tuning into the live stream. You guys all rock. That is huge. I mean, I was marveling the other day. You were showing me day 9 stream where he had, what, about 12K people watching or something like that?
I don't remember what he ended. I think it was like 10.5.
10.5, and I
Not
was just
sure.
like, you know what? I feel huge just when a third as many people as day 9 tune in to watch me. So
Day 9's a beast.
I felt pretty cool about that. And I know we're not asking for as much of a time commitment as him, and
No.
we don't stream as much as him, and all that kind of stuff. But I still felt cool. Like, cool
Yeah.
shades. Where are the cool shades? Cool shades, cool shades. Can you reach them? Your arms are longer than mine. Yes. Okay, I'm going to wear the cool shades for the rest of the stream.
That you broke.
I didn't fully break them.
These are my glasses. I was wearing them in some video where we're standing there jumping, and he was wearing his boots, and they.
We
fell
never
off
ended
my
up
face.
releasing the segment either.
No.
We should release it just as like a DVD, like behind the scenes.
I got bumped in the face, and they fell off my face and under his boot, and now they sit
I think
like
I
that.
knocked them off your face.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was saving face
Thank
with
you.
that.
Thank you.
We just said face a lot.
Yeah. Your face.
One of my mods just brought up a good thing, DayZ. That kind of happened with DayZ. There was one, and it was like, everyone make a zombie survival game.
Yep.
And now it's kind of coming back down again. Coming back
Right.
down to just a few that survived.
Survived.
Yeah, I can't take you seriously when your glasses are so off.
The zombie game, Zombie Apocalypse. At what point do games that were dead come back from the dead and steal back the title?
I actually can't take you seriously. I don't know if it doesn't look as bad in the feed. It looks ridiculous when he's
Well,
like
when
a
I look
foot
at them
away.
head on, it's probably worse. I think it's the angle that helps a little bit. 'Cause
Right,
It seems
yeah.
like it could be. Anyway, why don't we just sort of get back to Twitter here? Any good gaming headsets and mice to buy that are around 60 to 80 bucks? Lots of good mice. Razer Death Adder 2013 edition, 6400 DPI optical gaming mouse, great rubber grips on the sides. That's on at NCIX for $59.99.
It's either $59.99 or $69.99.
Great
I think
price.
it's $59.99.
As for gaming headsets, honestly, you can get a Siberia V2 for that price. It's comfy, it's lightweight, it sounds okay. Gaming headsets really aren't the way to go if you want a great audio experience, with the exception of the SteelSeries 7H and some of Sennheiser's higher-end stuff, but you're not going to get any of those things for $60 to $80. So,
Or if you have a big head.
yeah, or if you have a big head. because the Sennheiser 7H is not good for people with big heads. Okay, so Frostbite says he thinks Guild Wars 2 does MMO the best. You can buy the game for a price.
I haven't played Guild Wars 2, but my brother loves Guild Wars 2.
Okay.
He plays it casually, and he finds the experience is just you jump in and you can just kind of go around and do whatever you want, and he finds it like relaxing and nice instead of like just the oh my god everything's going on all the time experience.
Blood Pact says, don't even complain about lack of innovation if you didn't even try the secret world, which I did not, so we just got told.
Also didn't.
We just got told. Guild Wars 1 apparently had 4 million active users at one time. This was Johnny's 4th post since he registered back in 2010. Wow. Pwned so hard. Electronic Mass Production buys you. I think it's supposed to be EA apparently in that game.
Oh.
Okay, so back to news items. We have a ton this week. Paid YouTube subscriptions. They be here. So this was posted by SpeedStack79. He didn't really give us any sort of an editorial on it, but there you go. So you can check out the paid channels. There's prices ranging from $1 to sort of just under $10 and sort of anything in between. I'd like to say one thing at the beginning here, and hopefully you guys can take me seriously in spite of these glasses. Linus Tech Tips will never be a paid channel. So there you go. Written in blood as far as I'm concerned, unless YouTube forces everyone to take paid subscriptions, which I really don't see happening.
Oh, that won't happen.
Because I'm sure we can be ad-supported as long as we need to be ad-supported. Linus Tech Tips will not be a paid channel. We will always continue to try to take money from corporate sponsors as much as we can to make the channel possible, to pay the salaries of the people involved. I mean, honestly, we prefer it that way. We'd be willing to do something like a tip jar or a Bitcoin mining pool or even things like Kickstarters if we need equipment or we want to do something really special and we think you guys will benefit. But we are not going to do paid subscriptions. We might do things like special tags on the forum for contributors, all these things. But you will always have access to the content on Linus Tech Tips. No question.
A public resource.
Yes. We consider it like... I mean, we're doing a service to everyone the way we look at it. We're doing a service to the manufacturer by showcasing their product to people. We're doing a service to the viewer by showcasing the cool new products that we can get our hands on and show you guys. So the way we see it is everyone benefits if as many people watch it as possible, and that has always been the philosophy of Linus Tech Tips. So there you go.
And okay, if you're posting something in the news section, try to put a little bit of your own input in on it.
Please, please, please input something. It's helpful. So here we go. Mr. Crisis 2000 submitted this one about the Galaxy S4 Zoom. And you know what's hilarious is I predicted this one.
Yep.
Bam. I don't know if I predicted it because I didn't think anyone would make it.
No.
But what I said was the only problem with Samsung's Galaxy camera, which is basically just an Android-powered camera, is that it doesn't have a cell phone in it.
They had to add such little stuff to it to make it a cell phone.
Yeah. And I was like, because it already had a persistent data connection, you could put a SIM in it, but it just didn't have the calling hardware. And I wonder if it was in there and they just didn't enable it. Like, seriously.
Oh, people want this. Okay, on.
Yeah, on. But, I mean, think about this, guys. If you're a Shutterbug or a blogger, would you rather have a slim phone that doesn't take that great pictures? I mean, this one does okay. This is the one. And honestly, the S4 does okay, but it'll always be limited by the size of the optics you can put in, the bump, the distance, the size of the sensor you can put in, all those things. Would you rather have a slim phone that takes kind of shoddy pictures, or would you rather have a camera that also acts as a phone? Not everyone's on their phone all the time. And it's got a nice big screen on the back, just like the Galaxy camera. So yeah, guys, post in this thread in the forum, because apparently our site can take the heat. What's up, Johnny? So 16 megapixel camera with a phone built in. Word on the street is Samsung something something blah blah blah. Okay, has an AMOLED screen, Android Jelly Bean, 8 gigs memory, Bluetooth 4.0, speculations, something something something, etc etc etc. Do you guys think this is a cool idea? You know what? I'd like to take let's talk to the Twitch chat.
One quick thing.
It's a wretched hive of scum and villainy, but I love it that way.
Blunty3000, an Australian camera reviewer, said that its battery life is not very good, scaling around 3 hours.
Samsung, why you do these things to me?
It would be nice.
Someone says in Twitch chat your glasses are messed up. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Wow. You could be able to throw.
Okay, I do want to do this, so talk quickly if you're going to say something, because I want to start talking about Twitch chat.
Okay, talk about Twitch.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, okay, guys. So what do you think? Linus, fix your glasses. I'd prefer the phone. Take off those glasses. Give me a shout out to Moppers or something along those lines. More memes. MMO Neverwinter, okay? Something. I prefer the thick phone with aggressive battery. That's another one we've talked about. Maybe not even a great camera, or maybe you could put a better camera in if you had a thicker phone.
You should be able to.
Unbox the Corsair 350D. We have actually done that. It's sitting over there unboxed. I just have to upload it. NCIX website looks like a child designed it. You know what? One of my friends, actually, used to be my boss. Now we're more friends. He doesn't work there anymore. Designed that website. And back when it was designed, it was not bad. Prefer a phone, and a separate camera. Okay, fair enough. The Twitch chat exploded. Okay, someone's saying put it on slow. I prefer the camera, but not without battery life. Okay, so there you go. We took some feedback from Twitch chat today. Thank you very much, guys. So let's go back to our next. Okay, what were you going to say? I wanted to talk to them before they were done.
It's cool that you can at least throw a sim in it now and talk on the thing. Yeah. But the battery life is so low that...
Is problem.
Is problem.
Is problem.
Although, with portable battery packs, if you're hauling that around, you probably have some sort of a bag.
Right.
You could charge it up with a portable battery pack.
So this right here was submitted by Backgrund. Thank you very much for this awesome submission, Backgrund. Asrock is apparently planning to release water-resistant motherboards in their OC Formula series associated with the Intel Haswell release. What do you think about this? Is waterproof motherboards the future for water cooling, guys, or will it be just a new gimmick? Background, you know what? I gotta give you credit for giving some feedback on the topic, but I think you got it kind of wrong here, unfortunately. What this is going to be great for is sub-zero cooling, not water cooling. When it comes to water cooling, the danger is not so much to the motherboard, because usually by the time you're leak testing, your motherboard is vertical and is unlikely to be spilled on. The danger is usually to your graphics card or your power supply getting water dripping into it.
And it can sit there and cause problems by sitting there.
Big problems, because distilled water is not inherently conductive, but once it sits and gets some soldering flux in it or some metal ions, that's when you run into trouble. What this is great for is guys who are doing sub-zero overclocking, where condensation can be a big issue, and insulating boards perfectly can be a big difference between that modded board that the overclocker spent hours getting working just right, like even days getting working just right, and then dying because one little bit of water got in there, condensation, boom, dead. So that's really cool. Having it be water resistant for extreme overclocking. I mean, also for extremely humid environments, would this be a benefit? I don't know.
It must. I know that's a problem.
Maybe.
So I mean, think so. Maybe.
You know, I don't know. I guess if you spilled you put so many cases have mesh tops. You knock your drink over there.
I have 2 friends that I know that have done that.
They're pouring a can of cola on it in the picture here, but guys, just because it's waterproof does not mean it's cola proof.
No.
So people are still in the Twitch chat. There's like, Linus's glasses are crooked. Yeah, I know. And the other really cool thing about this board is HDMI input. Holy freaking crap! How cool is that?
It is actually pretty beast.
Because some consoles, notably the Xbox 360 and game streamers are able to utilize this as well, do not have DRM. So if you had an HDMI input right on your board, do you know how much a capture card costs? Like $100. If you had an HDMI input on your board, you could actually capture from an external source. I don't know if this is what they're intending to use it for, but that would make this board more gaming optimized than any gaming branded board I've ever seen. Huh?
Yeah, I know, that's awesome.
I mean, better audio, actually, I stand by that.
Yep.
Better network solutions.
Anyways.
Those are good, but I'd probably put a sound card in anyway. So for me, with so many people game streaming these days, I'd say putting an HDMI input on your board is a cool way to make it gaming optimized.
Yeah, I'm sure Twitch is pretty stoked about that.
Great features for the overclockers, great features for the gamers. Very cool board. With that said, Asrock is still not really on my list of motherboard manufacturers that I pay too close attention to, but if they keep doing cool stuff like this, that might turn 360 degrees. Just kidding, guys. 180. If you weren't in the live stream earlier, you won't get the joke. So just calm down. I know it's not 360. This is kind of gross.
It's very gross.
This is actually super gross. But Alex B on Twitter submitted this to me, the ultimate Canadian computer, and I really hope that Canada is not about taxidermy beavers with computers inside them. But it's an ITX build, very old, like crappy components, with a taxidermy beaver. Yes, that is a real beaver with a fan in the back. Let me see if I can skip to the spot where it's there. There's the I/O accessible through like a flap. There's the beaver sitting on a desk. Is that not the scariest thing you guys have ever seen? With this beaver sitting next to the monitor here? Holy freaking schmoly. Anyway, I'm pretty sure this is an older thing, but I hadn't seen it before. So apparently the beaver pic was posted on Reddit a couple days ago, so it's probably where they saw it. But yeah, just like the most bizarre thing ever. We have almost 3,600 live viewers. Wow.
And they all unfortunately had to just see that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. You know what? We probably just shouldn't have done that.
No.
Slick told me not to do it, but
I did.
I was like, yeah. All right, so it's time to take another shot at EA.
Oh no, this is the biggest one. Oh no. Oh, this is not good.
The Walt Disney Company and EA announced multi-year Star Wars games agreement. Submitted by PC Explosion, I believe, was the first one to submit this on the forum. Come on!
Like, I will forgive so many things if you don't screw this up. Like, please don't screw this up.
Come on! If anyone from EA is watching, just come on!
That got him to take the glasses off.
No, I'm putting them back on. It's okay.
But temporarily, got him to take the glasses off.
It's like, come on!
Don't screw this up.
Not only that, but it's exclusive.
Yeah.
So the odds of me getting like a remade TIE Fighter anytime in the multi-year deal, not going to happen. Mind you, EA is sort of the masters of remaking things.
Yeah, that's true. They might actually have it.
Maybe if I get a remade TIE Fighter out of this, EA employees who are watching, I will be super stoked.
That isn't like, oh yeah, to buy another like ship, you need to microtransaction.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have Luke Skywalker content. Pay $15.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Maybe be careful what you wish for, I guess, because I could end up with my game but broke.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Because you're gonna buy everything.
I totally would.
$700.
You don't even know.
Additional. No, I know.
If someone asked me to spend $500 on a TIE Fighter remake with modern graphics, but just the exact game, maybe throw in multiplayer, okay, I'd pay $500 for single player alone. I'd pay $1,000 for multiplayer. Like, for my own personal copy.
Knowing him, not even slightly surprised.
I would
it could probably go higher
like,
than that.
You know I can't afford it.
You'd probably still do it if it went higher.
You know I can't afford it.
You'd probably sell your bike.
But I'd do it. I would do it. Like, I would do it.
Just for TIE Fighter.
Just for TIE Fighter. And if they threw in the X-Wing campaign too, oh.
And like they've got some of their better publishers behind it.
I mean, imagine if they got James Earl Jones to come in and do the Darth Vader voice. Oh.
That would be beast.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go change my pants. So anyway, under the deal, it's exclusive except for a few like lame casual platforms like tablet games or kids games. It looks like the devs who are going to be working on it are, actually I wrote this down in my thing,
Dice.
Visceral, Dice, and BioWare
Yeah.
will be deving the game. So this is the lesser of all evils as far as things look. EA is making a big deal out of how some new Star Wars game is going to use Frostbite 3. Who cares? As if the engine ever made the game. TIE Fighter is one of the greatest games ever. It looks like ass.
It doesn't hurt, but...
Yeah, it doesn't hurt,
but still.
It's not like I'm looking at it going, wow, when Darth Vader cut off Luke Skywalker's hands, I could really see the blood spurt. You couldn't even see any blood in the movie. That doesn't make it not a great movie. So there's my whole thing. Anyway, so I was willing to give Disney the benefit of the doubt on the whole acquisition as far as movies are going. I was actually willing to give them the benefit of the doubt on closing down LucasArts. Like, I was like, okay, if they find some great devs to do this, maybe they can rejuvenate it. But come on!
This is not... Oh, I would, like, beg on hands and knees for EA not to screw this up.
Yeah.
Like just...
Let's
like,
just do it.
Do it
do
properly.
it right now.
Okay.
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 Okay. EA employees who are watching. Here, we can kneel on the chairs. I think it's still
properly.
My chair's spinning. I'm going. Okay. So we're sort of kneeling. EA.
Please don't screw this up.
Please don't screw
Do
this up.
not screw this up.
Please.
Oh my goodness. And like, are they even going to release 13.13, which is like probably close to done?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm so worried for how this is.
How many people are tuned in right now? Oh, well, we started hating on EA. All the EA employees left. So apparently there were 40 of them watching.
Hopefully they don't get fired.
Okay, our last topics before we do our build blogs of the week is, I have a lot of potential sponsors. This was submitted by Joel the Zombie 15. This was actually a while ago. I meant to talk about this last week, I think. But a lot of sponsors have sort of asked me how many likes I have on Facebook and sort of things like that. I've never done a like me on Facebook to win. I've never done anything like that. I've never really pushed Facebook. To me, Facebook is one of those things where most of the content on there is stuff that I share that people send to me on Facebook, things like builds or like cool pictures or funny things that I think are funny. Most of my Twitter content goes on there. All my Instagram content goes to Twitter, which then goes to Facebook. So what Facebook is really, is it's for people who are on Facebook anyway, don't feel like following on Twitter, don't feel like subscribing on YouTube, but still want to have a way to get access to the content and whatever it is that I'm talking about. So that, to me, Facebook is like my, like quaternary priority out of everything that I do.
That is a word a lot of people won't get.
I'm still gonna. Oh, sorry. So it's primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary, fourth priority. But I'm gonna support it just because I know some people prefer it, which is great. But this is really funny. So what's a Facebook like worth? Because I get questioned by sponsors. Why don't you have a lot of likes on Facebook? You're huge on YouTube. You've got a big Twitter following. You've got all these things. Why are you so small on Facebook? And I go, well, because a Facebook like doesn't really mean anything. It's been cheapened to the point where, what does it even do? So UNICEF has launched a bold advertising campaign that takes direct aim at perhaps the most ubiquitous form of online activism, the Facebook like. I like, people against animals being tortured. I mean, that's great. You know what? I'm against animals being tortured too, and I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to say that. But late last month, UNICEF Sweden released 3 commercials that urge viewers to support humanitarian aid not through posts or shares on social media, but through monetary donations. Facebook likes do not save lives. They do not save animals. They do not save the environment. They do not do anything.
Technically, it's an X amount of data, so the only thing it could possibly do is hurt the environment.
That's true. A hard drive had to be, installed somewhere.
A hard drive had to be created. Data had to travel along paths. Energy was consumed.
So
something happened somewhere.
Yeah. So anyway, there you go. We are disappointed that anyone ever thought that Facebook likes actually did anything positive. I mean, the kinds of things I like on Facebook are things like my local badminton crew.
Yeah.
It's like, because that way, when they're trying to attract a sponsor for their tournament or whatever,
they might have more likes or something.
They have more likes, which they can show them, and so there's that. But at the end of the day, like, a like has become so meaningless because everyone has turned it into just giving crap away for likes, which I've done a couple times on Twitter, and I've done a couple times on YouTube. So follow to have a chance to win, subscribe to have a chance to win. But I think the point of those ones is the ongoing dialogue. I don't use Twitter as just a way to sell tech tips to a sponsor. I don't need it. We have 350,000 subscribers on YouTube on one channel alone already. We have grown Tech Quickie in the last 3 months to 50,000 subscribers, which is bigger than most YouTube channels will ever be. We're really good at video. I don't need to sell subscribers. The things I like about social media are the two-way dialogue. YouTube comments are a very difficult way for me to interact with you guys, whereas Twitter is great for live. I'm able to read your tweets in real time almost. Live streaming is great for interaction. Facebook is okay for interaction. I don't like that it's not real time. I mean, what's great about Twitter is if people tweet me and I'm like laying in bed and I can't sleep, I can be like, yeah, I can reply to some tweets. It's cool. It's interactive. Whereas if Facebook likes and Twitter shares and whatever crap it all is just a way for me to like pump myself up and beef myself up and make myself look good, then it's completely lost the point. And that's what a lot of these activists that are sitting at their computers sort of flicking through their feed going like, oh yeah, baby photos. Oh, well, I don't like starving monkeys. Come on, guys. Anyway, There you go.
It's like new age chainmails.
Apparently people want Linus social media tips. Believe it or not, I'm reasonably good at it, so I would be happy to give you guys some social media tips if you're really that into it. Build logs of the week. Here is, you know what, we're going to start with our legendary one. There was a thread in the forum last week complaining that we do too much legendary build logness.
So we're starting with it.
So we're starting with the legendary one. Haha. Anyway, I'm going to let Slick handle this.
So this is...
Scroll down.
Okay.
Function down in order to think you think you can handle this. And we're showing them it this time, which is great.
Right.
I'm going to go get a drink of water. Do you want one?
Sure.
I've been talking a lot. I'm like, my throat is parched.
You're just really energetic today.
Oh, I'm tired. Actually,
We're going to take it slow now that he's gone. Slow and relaxed.
Slow. This is Tech Tips Radio.
This is Tech Tips FM. We're going to take this exactly at the speed you want it. All right. So this is another build by Snef. Snef is actually pretty kind of insane. I think we featured one of his builds before. His stuff is just absolutely epic. So we're just going to go through some pictures here. This I do not think is how it ended up. Pretty sure he water cooled it, but we will see. There we go. So you've got a saber-tooth Asus board. Normally comes in brown. He doesn't care. So he took the armor off on the top. He's painting it here. My goodness. I can't control this little tiny keyboard like Linus does. My hands are way too big for this. Let's go up here so you can actually see it. This doesn't work. I'm sorry, everyone. This keyboard is impossible for me to use. So he's painting everything like a eggshelly white. I'm terrible with colors. That might not be accurate. It's some form of white, and it looks really good. You can see reservoir clips right there. Oh, I'm so excited. This looks so good. I'm trying to go through slowly, but it looks amazing. White fan controller. Snef builds are awesome. Just look at that. Like, aren't you just, if you haven't seen this yet, aren't you just excited? Like, you know this is going to look amazing. It looks so just icy blue angel. I don't even know how else to describe it. Just such a nice color white. Coming out here. Coloring the fans is a dangerous and bold move, but hopefully it turned out well. Here's his reservoir. XSPC radiator. Sorry for that jump. I'm not very good at controlling this keyboard, which has a trackball on it. Here he's just showing off a lot of his tubings and fittings and stuff. He always picks, like, Snef's builds are always insanely baller. Thank you.
I just got water on both of our laptops.
And all over my leg.
Oh, that's pee.
Oh, what? Horrible.
You'd think you'd be used to it by now.
Where are the... Here we go. Here's the completed pictures. Just absolutely beasts like we expect from Snef.
Wow.
Just absolutely beasts.
Holy crap, that's beautiful.
Yep. You missed the like nice in progress shots. You came in right as we got to the completed shot.
Wow.
Snef, we've featured him before. His builds are top notch. Like, this is crazy.
That is outstanding. I love it. Painted saber-tooth, painted rad, other more different painted rad. That tubing arrangement, you know what? It's funny because the more perfect it is, the more you notice the mistakes. See, it's not quite a right angle on the top of the front rad.
Oh.
He's off by a little bit. But it's, you know what? It's one of those things where it's like, it's easier to see the flaw because the rest of it is so perfect. I love it.
Let's go down a little bit.
And also that power supply needs to have the colors swapped on the TX and the M. Wow, look at that fluid.
Just so nice. Is that the, crap, what is it called?
I don't remember, but I know the stuff you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Man, that looks good. And I like the only slightly blue sleeving on the cables.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to see it go all the way to the power supply.
You got to point with the arrow, not point with the finger there.
Oh, right.
So it means the black cable's coming out of the power supply itself. Like, it looks like it was a little bit phoned in there. I wonder if he's using extensions and just hiding the cables in the back.
I think so, yeah.
That way, you know what? You could do a build like this reasonably quickly if you did that. This wouldn't even take that long. Mask off your radiators, paint them.
You still have to do, you can tell he planned this out like crazy because of his tubing runs and the...
Yes, planning-wise. But if you were to look at his build, get a parts list, and execute it, you could probably do it without that much difficulty. Yeah. Cool. Very cool. Oh, that looks good.
Woo. That's a really nice case, too.
Wow.
And now with LED.
Huh.
just these
Yeah, it just
pictures.
gets
like,
more and more pornographic as we go.
Man. And those fans look amazing.
Huh. Those are Spectres, right?
Yeah, Spectre Pros.
Yeah.
Just so nice. I'm going a little bit faster now because we've seen a lot of this already. So nice. I'm starting to notice that power supply more.
Yeah. I know, right? Just because the rest of it's perfect.
Oh, he's got like a proper setup.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know what? Honestly,
Is he using a monitor to light it up?
half of what's... oh, I don't know.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
I
he
think
is.
that's a monitor. That's awesome.
Half of like nice builds a lot of the time is photography. Like I've seen builds on $1 million PC that quite frankly aren't really anything special. And if you looked at them in person, you really wouldn't be that impressed.
Right.
But when you take great pictures with the gorgeous depth of field and perfect lighting, are you going to go to the next build blog at some point?
But I don't wanna...
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
When you take great pictures of them with like gorgeous depth of field and perfect lighting, then they look amazing. So we're almost done the live stream. We've just got one more build log to go, and guys, we are going to be doing a Mario World after party again. Now, it's going to take us a little while to get it set up, but we're ready this time. We have a CRT for us, and we're actually going to be using a different streaming setup. Let me know when you're ready to go. We're going to be using a different.
Whenever.
You're ready whenever? Okay, I'll talk about this after. Go for it.
What scene is it?
Scene. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. All right, we're going again with kind of the white theme. Sorry about that. Building up Essence STX right off the bat. Just love Essence STX. And it looks great. Really nice pictures again, but we're just getting started. You'll see something as he takes off the backplate. You'll see where this is going pretty soon. I'm going to skip through some of the more just general shots. There.
Beautiful. Love painted backplates.
Just so beast. Again, I know white builds. Maybe next week we'll try and make sure that we don't have any more white builds. But that seems to be flavor of the month right now.
And just so you guys know, it's not going to affect performance. Backplate doesn't really contribute anything to card cooling. We're talking maybe a degree or two.
Yeah, like maybe.
Maybe.
So it looks amazing.
That swag.
Coming down into it. Just showing more parts, blah, 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 blah.
You can use page down as well.
I know, but it jumps too fast, I find.
Right, okay. I guess we want people to be able to follow along.
Yeah, my thumb's so freaking big. That
I can't believe we have more than 3,500 viewers this week. You guys rock.
That's awesome.
Are those Gellids?
Yes, believe so. Yeah,
Gellid fans, guys. Silent 12s.
They're awesome.
Okay, keep going.
And then he wrapped, as far as I can tell, he wrapped. Didn't actually put his own tubing on, but he wrapped it. Yep. So it looks really good.
Huh.
Like, it still looks awesome.
That's really smart.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Because it looks great, but then it, like...
Right.
But it, yeah. So there's a lot of, like, nifty things with this build that I really appreciated. So with those two small little things, I guess the H100 is not in yet, but with those two small little things, once we get down to it, like, there.
That
Fairly minor
really
changes. He added the, like, not actual tubing,
Point
but
with the mouse pointer, not your finger.
Okay. I'm trying to keep it locked on the scroll bar. Anyways, so he wrapped the tubing. Sorry, I jumped. Which, like, looks really good.
Yeah, it looks
and
sharp.
is not a crazy thing to do. He painted the back plate, which is, again, not a crazy thing to do, but looks really sharp. Two things that most people wouldn't do, but he thought of.
I like the little blue accents on the motherboard with the rest of the build being otherwise black and white. It looks really sharp.
Yeah. Coming down to it.
Cable management on the backs, nothing special. This is a very attainable build.
Yep. So it just looks awesome.
Is that a 650 Ti?
No, the second 6.
Oh, 660. Yeah, sorry. I can't see through these awesome glasses.
There
They're
you go.
amazing.
There you go. That should be easy to read.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, so awesome build. Again, kind of white and blue. So they're both pretty similar in that aspect. But they were both really good builds, so I didn't want to skip one.
Nice keyboard.
Yeah, goes along with the build. That's one thing that's really cool, too, is when people sync out their entire build. Mm-hmm. So everything works together. It's like all your peripherals, all your case, your inside lighting, everything all works together. It's really cool.
All right, so guys, we will be back in probably it's going to take us about 10 or 15 minutes because we've got a new streaming setup for our Mario after party, which will hopefully help Slick not perform it so abysmally.
Oh, I'll probably still be terrible. But,
that was awful.
But last week was
That was awful. And I have a USB to SNES adapter in the mail, so we're going to be switching to SNES controllers hopefully next week or the week after. But we're using an AverMedia Live Gamer Portable now on a notebook. Then we have another more different notebook that is going to be outputting to... Wait, hold on. Okay, so the Live Gamer Portable's on this one, which will be the streaming machine. Then the other notebook is outputting to the CRT because it has VGA out and it has HDMI out. So then it is outputting to the Live Gamer Portable, which is running on the other computer that is actually doing the streaming. So, oh yeah, the special guest moved to next week. Great question. I should have covered that before. So Steve Dotto will be joining us next week. Oh yeah, I probably should have told you that.
No, I got that email.
You did. Oh, I sent you an email?
Yeah. Like first time ever. Actual proper communication happened.
Yeah, all right.
It's brilliant.
Cool. So anyway, it'll take us a little while to set it up. Guys, stay tuned. We will be back. And thank you for checking out the Linus Tech Tips live stream. All 3416 of you that are left that wanted to listen to me do this, like, lead out thing. And for those of you who are still here, I will remove my sunglasses because they are absolutely redonkulous.
More than one person with OCD was like, oh God, please take them off. I can't handle this.
The only reason I could handle it is I wasn't looking at it.
Right.
Where's the... Oh, you put it over there. I can't reach it. My arms aren't long enough. All right. See you guys in the after party.
Thanks for watching.